Hey, I want to tell you a story about a dog that I rescued. I brought home this great big dog and we decided to adopt him. And it wasn't easy. When he first came into our home, he thought he had to go out to the dirtiest part of our backyard. He would go and he would lay behind the trash cans, and it would be 100-degree weather. And I would bring him in and he wouldn't want to go in the house. So I'd just sit in the garage in my beach chair and I would read to him. And you know what? I started thinking about that and I realized we are not much different. That is our story of us with God. We were once wandering in the darkness. We felt abandoned. We couldn't care for ourselves. So we too were rescued by God. In Colossians chapter 1, it says that God rescued us from the domain of darkness. And you know what? We've had Bear now for 2 years, and he still from time to time will go out on the side yard in the pouring rain and lay in the dirt. And I go out and I bring him in and I remind him that he's been saved, that he has been rescued. But I find I do the same thing. I want to slip back into my old nature and go and run to the corners of my own darkness and my fear. And I have to remember in the book of Ephesians that God has promised us that we are part of his family. He has adopted us through what Jesus Christ has done. And so, you know, I I find myself like Bear, just like my adopted dog. But you know what? Now Bear walks with great joy. He wags his tail when he hears the leash. He gets up with enthusiasm when he hears the food going into his bowl. And I too, when I feast on God's word, have so much more joy. And when I remember to pray with him and to walk with believers, I too am filled with hope. I have been rescued. I've been adopted. And you have too. And we belong together. Only together in our walk can we strengthen each other to make it to our eternal home. Thank you so much for walking with me and encouraging me. And I just pray today that as you walk your journey, that you are strengthened by God's word as well.